What up guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Double IB and those are my predictions for week 8 of the NFL. In the first game of this week, we had the Miami Dolphins playing against the Houston Texans. The Texans are on a roll right now and the Miami Dolphins are not playing really good and they have lost some key pieces on offense. So in that case, with Deshaun Watson for the Texans at quarterback and Brock Osweiler for the Miami Dolphins, I think this will be an easy win for the Texans. They will win this game by a score of 24-12. In this week's game in London, we had the Philadelphia Eagles playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Eagles lost last week in a really bad way. They were winning by 17 points against the Carolina Panthers, but they lost the game by letting the Carolina Panthers score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. On the other side, the Jacksonville Jaguars is not a good team. Leonard Fournette is the whole team offense, and without him, this team cannot do anything. They have traded for Carlos Hyde, but he's coming from a short week. He hasn't learned the playbook yet, so he will not be a big factor in this game. So this game will be really close because the Jacksonville Jaguars are used to playing in London because they're playing there every year. And the Eagles are a Super Bowl champion, but they're 3-4 now in the season. So this will be a really important game for them to win, for having a chance to make the playoffs. So that's why the Eagles will win this game by a score of 31-10. In the next game, we had the Baltimore Ravens playing against the Carolina Panthers. The Ravens lost a close game last week, and the Carolina Panthers come back last week in the fourth quarter to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So those two teams are in two different moods. I think I'll give the advantage to the Carolina Panthers because they're playing at home, and this year they're playing really good at home. And they're playing against the Baltimore Ravens team, who are a little bit depressed by last week's loss. But I think they will come back and they will give us a great fight. But the Carolina Panthers offense is really good when they're clicking. And this week they're playing at home, so they have the advantage of their crowd. So they'll win this game by a score of 28-24. But the Ravens could come back and win this game because they lost last week and they really want to avenge their last week's game. In the next game, we had the Denver Broncos playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos have played the Thursday, their last game, so they'll have a little bit more time to think about this game against the Kansas City Chiefs, a really good team. And the Chiefs have won Sunday night by a big score against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Chiefs will play this game at home and they will have the advantage of the crowd. So the Denver Broncos have to be really prepared for this game, playing against one of the best teams in the league. The Chiefs offense is playing really good, and last week the Chiefs defense for our first game of this year, they played really good. So the Denver Broncos will have a challenge playing against the Chiefs, but because they have more time to prepare for this game, I feel like this game will be really close. But the Chiefs are playing at home, so I'll give them the win by a score of 31-21. For the next game, we had the Cleveland Browns playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a rematch of the first week of this NFL season, where those two teams play one against each other and finish the game in a tie. So the one who wins this game will be the one who has the advantage in this year's series. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't have Le'Veon Bell back on the team as they expected, but James Conner will do the job because they're really good running back. On the other side, the Cleveland Browns are not playing really good. They always lost in overtime. They have last week they have their fourth game in overtime and they lost it. So they're a little bit devastated right now, and they'll play against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. So this will be really a hard game for them to win. So that's why I'll give the win to the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 28-17. In the next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks playing against the Detroit Lions. This game will be really interesting because those two teams are about the same level of talent, and it will be a really close game. I'm really excited to see this game, but for now I have to make my prediction. I'll give the advantage to the home team in the Detroit Lions because they have a better offensive play around them. They have a better offensive line, and their defense is playing really good right now. So I feel like the Detroit Lions could have the advantage in this game, but I think it will be so close that I may be wrong in this prediction. But I'll go with the home team in the Detroit Lions because I have more confidence in them to win this game. I'll give them the win by a score of 21-20. In the next game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals lost last week in a big way against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a close one in overtime against the Cleveland Browns. The Bengals have a really good team, even if they lost in a big way last week against the Chiefs. And they will play against one of the not so good team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this will be a really good game for them to win confidence and build out to for the rest of the season. So the Cincinnati Bengals have to come in a big way this game and give a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's what they will do in my books. They will win this game by a score of 27-17. In the next game, we have the New York Jets playing against the Chicago Bears. The Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky showed us that with a great coach, he could be really dangerous. He played really good last week against the New England Patriots, but at the end he was stopped at the 1 yard line in the Hail Mary toss. On the other side, the New York Jets are not playing really good right now. They lost last week to the Minnesota Vikings, which is a really better team than them, but they play really good in this game. So I feel like this week's game against those two teams will be really interesting to see. The Chicago Bears, with a good team, playing against the New York Jets, a team was on the edge of being really good. So I feel like this game will be won by the Chicago Bears, the best team in the moment. They have Mitch Trubisky at quarterback, who's playing really good in the moment, and Khalil Mack, who's terrorizing defenses. He will give a hard time to Sam Darnold and his offense. So this game will be won by the Chicago Bears by a score of 28-18. For the next game, we have the Washington Redskins playing against the New York Giants. The Redskins are in the first place of the NFC East, and the Giants are in last place of the NFC East. Even if those two teams are really far from one of each other's, they are two divisional rivals, and those type of games are unpredictable because those two teams know really well one each other. So I feel like this game could be really close. But the Washington Redskins is a team who can push to the playoffs this year and make a run to the playoffs and be really good. And the other side, we have the New York Giants, who are training a lot of players to win draft picks and rebuild this team. So the Washington Redskins have the advantage in this game, even if this game is played in New York. So that's why I think I will give the win to the Washington Redskins because they have a better offense. Alex Smith is playing really good, and Eli Manning is a guy who only throws to checks down. So that's mean he only throws the ball to Saquon Barkley, who's playing really good this season and could really be the offensive rookie player of this year. But the Washington Redskins are a better team, so that's why I'll give them the win by a score of 28-14. In the next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts playing against the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders are now the laughing stock of the NFL. They just traded two of the best players for first round picks. So with that, I think they'll be really hard to them to win a game this season. I look at their schedule and I don't see them winning another game this year. So playing against the Colts, they have a really hard time. So the Colts will have an easy win this week by playing against the Raiders by a score of 21-10. In the next game, we had the San Francisco 49ers playing against the Arizona Cardinals. Those two teams confirmed a big loss last week, so they'll come in this game with the urge to bounce back. The 49ers lost to the LA Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals lost to the Denver Broncos. The 49ers will have the advantage in this game because they're stable at the coaching staff, and the Arizona Cardinals just fired their offensive coach, so they have a lot of time before creating again chemistry on offense. So that's why I'll give the win to the 49ers by a score of 21-10. In the last game of this evening, we had the Green Bay Packers playing against the LA Rams. The LA Rams are unstoppable right now. They are 7-0, and I don't see how any team could stop them. And that's why the Green Bay Packers will not be able to stop them because Aaron Rodgers is not playing really good with his knee injury, and he doesn't have enough help on offense and on defense to win against the Rams. So the Rams is a really good team, and so that's why they'll play easily against the Green Bay Packers and win this game by a score of 34-20. On Sunday night, we have a really good game. We have the New Orleans Saints playing against the Minnesota Vikings. Those two teams could battle it out to see who will have the chance to win, to go to the Super Bowl in this year. The Saints have a really good team with Drew Brees at quarterback, and the Minnesota Vikings with Kirk Cousins are playing really good, and with the connection with Adam Thielen, they're unstoppable. So those two offenses will be really good to see and see which team have the advantage. I feel like this game will be really close, but the Saints have the advantage because they're a much better team and they have playing against much better competition in the last few weeks. So that's why I'll give the win to the New Orleans Saints by a score of 31-28. On Monday night, the last game of this week, we had the New England Patriots playing against the Buffalo Bills. This game will be a really easy win to the New England Patriots because they're a much better team than the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills don't have a quarterback, and last week they have played Derek Anderson because Josh Allen is injured, and they have been demolished. So playing against the New England Patriots will be even worse, and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will be no mercy for this Buffalo Bills team. So that's why I'll give the win to the Patriots by a score of 31-12. Thank you guys for watching my video. Those were my predictions for the week 8 of the NFL. Stay tuned because Saturday I'll be back with another video. It will be my first mock draft. It will be the 2019 NFL mock draft. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Double IB. I'm signing out.